On May 12, 2025, 59 white South Africans, primarily Afrikaners, arrived in the United States under a new refugee program initiated by President Donald Trump. This unprecedented move has ignited a firestorm of debate across the nation and the globe. President Trump defended the decision by claiming that white South African farmers are victims of a genocide, facing brutal killings and
because they're
land
being killed,
confiscations.
and we don't want to see people be killed. Now, South Africa leadership is coming to see me, I understand, sometime next week. But it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about. But it's a terrible thing that's taking place, and farmers are being killed. They happen to be white, but whether they're white or black makes no difference to me. But white farmers are being brutally killed, and their land is being confiscated in South Africa. And the newspapers and the media, television media, doesn't even talk about it. If it were the other way around, they'd talk about it. That would be the only story they'd talk about. And I don't care who they are. I don't care about their race, their color. I don't care about their height, their weight. I don't care about anything. I just know that what's happening is terrible. I have people that live in South Africa. They say it's a terrible situation taking place. So we've essentially extended citizenship to those people to escape from that violence and come here. Yeah.
The administration's stance has been bolstered by allies like Elon Musk, who echoed concerns about the treatment of Afrikaners. Critics argue that the administration's focus on white South African refugees, while maintaining strict limitations on refugees from other regions, indicates a racially biased approach to immigration policy.
The president made it clear that Afrikaners in South Africa who were the victims of unjust racial discrimination would be welcome to come to the United States.
The Episcopal Church announced it would cease participation in federal refugee resettlement programs in protest of what it perceives as preferential treatment based on race. The South African government has vehemently denied allegations of a white genocide, stating that while the country does experience high levels of violent crime, there is no evidence to support the notion of targeted persecution against white farmers.
We've raised our own concern because those people who are being enticed to go to the United States do not fit the definition of a refugee. A refugee is someone who has to leave their country out of fear of political persecution, religious persecution. They don't fit that bill. They don't fit that description. And I had a conversation with President Trump on the phone, and he said, "What's happening down there?" And I said, "President, what you've been told by those people who are opposed to transformation back home in South Africa is not true." And I added to him, I said, "We were well taught by Nelson Mandela and other iconic leaders like Oliver Tambo on how to continue to build a united nation out of the diverse groupings that we have in South Africa. We're the only country on the continent where the colonizers came to stay, and we have never driven them out of our country. So they are staying, and they're making great progress. It's a fringe grouping that does not have a lot of support, that is anti-transformation and anti-change, that would actually prefer to see South Africa going back to apartheid type of policies."
The diplomatic rift widened when the Trump administration expelled South African Ambassador Ibrahim Rasool, further straining relations. While some Afrikaners have embraced the opportunity for a new life in America, others remain hesitant. Many express strong ties to their homeland and a desire to address local issues rather than emigrate. Leaving South Africa was not an easy decision. We hope to find safety here, but our hearts remain with our country. The preferential treatment of white South African refugees has sparked a broader conversation about racial dynamics in U.S. immigration policy. Advocates question the criteria used for granting refugee status and the potential implications for future asylum seekers. This policy sets a concerning precedent. It suggests that race and political optics